So, okay, this is where I tell the story of how I almost met Josh Dunn, and it's pretty triggering to say the least. You know how I mentioned that the Sound Academy is like at the end of a tiny street? And this was when they introduced the meet and greet card system. So since this was still the beginning of the tour, we had no idea how they did the meet and greet system, because at one show they gave it to the first 50 people in line. At one show they gave it to like people during the concert, and at one show they gave it to people after the concert. So we really had no idea how to be prepared. So it's the end, and we're not sure of where to wait, because the parking lot is also at the end of this street but across from the venue. And again, I'm so sorry because it's such a hard thing to explain. There was like 5 tour buses there, so we're like, maybe we should wait here. So there was a group of us waiting there. There was a group waiting at the very front of the venue, like right outside the doors. And then apparently somebody texted their friend saying we have to go to the back of the venue. In order to get to the back of the venue, you need to... Okay, so let's put this in perspective. This is a Sound Academy and this is the street. You need to go to the end of the street and go around, because up to the venue is like all these buildings, but they're all connected, so there's not really any like alleys that you can just like cut in. You have to go all the way down and then around, and it's not a long street, but in this case it felt like it was like 7 kilometers long. People started booking it to the end of the street, me being one of those people. And by the way, I was carrying this huge ass sleeping bag because I was like freezing, and I was like, okay, might as well stay warm. So I'm booking it, and there's this group of us and we're just going wild. And then this like van drives by, and this guy has a megaphone, and he just yells at us. He's like, if you guys are looking for the cards, they're at the front of the venue. So we're like, oh my god. So we book it back to the front, and people are like not in good shape. We're just like freaking out. We're trying to breathe. We're trying to run. It's freezing out. Okay, so we get to the front of the venue, and there's like maybe 15-20 people there. And they had gotten cards, but then this guy comes out, because obviously there's a huge group of us now, and this guy comes out and he's like, I have so and so many cards left. You guys need to be calm and collected, and if you don't do this in a calm, collected way, nobody's gonna get to meet Josh, and nobody else is getting a card. So I thought that, okay, we're gonna get into a lineup of something, whatever. Anyways, so we all just kind of huddle around this guy, and I'm telling you, there's less than 30 cards that he has left, so it's not a lot. And I was pretty close to the front of this little group. So he's handing it out, my hands are shaking, I'm like trying to catch my breath, and I'm just like freaking out because I'm like, oh my god, I think I'm gonna get one. I think I'm gonna get a meet and greet card. Do you like how I'm like smiling during all of this? You smile through the pain, you smile. People move out of the way, and I'm suddenly at the very front of this group, and I see he's in like the single digits. He definitely doesn't have that many cards left. And then he has like 3 left. He has 2, he has 1 left. And the girl beside me, maybe it wasn't a girl, it was a person. The person beside me gets the last card. And I just kind of stop, and I'm like, okay, like trying to remain calm. I'm like, okay, and I'm trying not to cry. And I think this was one thing that like made the whole day so emotional. Oh my god, I'm actually gonna cry right now. Wow, I didn't think I'd get emotional thinking about it. I told this story so many times, and I don't really get that emotional telling it anymore, but there were these 2 sisters that I met in line when I was doing the video, and they were pretty awesome people, I'd say. So they come up to me and they're like, oh my god, did you get one? And I was like, again, I'm still being calm, like I'm definitely holding back my tears as hard as possible, and I'm like, no. And then they're like, because the 2 of them got it, and so I was like, no, I didn't get it, like it's okay. And then they're like, you didn't? And one of them goes up to the guy who was handing out the cards, and she was like, you have an extra card, right? You have an extra card for this girl. This girl deserves it more than anything. And she's pointing at me, and I'm like, have like little tears coming down my face, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. And she was just being so freaking nice. She was like to this guy, she's like, you have another card, right? She deserves one. And I was just so overwhelmed and like upset, and like I don't even know. I was just like, felt so blessed that this girl was like saying that for me. And I was like crying. I'm like, oh, it's okay. Like, it's okay, guys. You guys have a fun time. I hope the show was good. And so I'm kind of just like standing around there because I'm like, I can't believe I didn't get a card. I'm like, I can't believe that this is real. Oh, also, because before like he was handing out the cards, another guy came up to me and he was like, who I also met in line, and he's like, if you don't get a card and I do, I'm literally giving you my card. And I'm like, I don't know what I did, and like, I've just met you today, and like, man, you guys are just so nice, and like, I honestly don't know what I deserve to have these people like vouching for me. And so afterwards, like when obviously I didn't get the card, he comes up, he's like, did you get one? And I was like, no. And I'm like obviously crying at this point, and like obviously he could tell. He's like, oh, that's so sad, like I think you really should have gotten one. And I'm like, thanks. So I start walking back and I'm holding my big sleeping bag that I had been running around with, and I'm like bawling, and I'm walking back to the car, which by the way, Julia was just in the car. She was so tired, and I'm like, I don't blame you, you can rest in here. So I'm walking back and I'm bawling, and the guy who said that he was gonna give me the card, he's like, do you want some help? Do you want some help carrying your stuff? And I'm like, no, you're so sweet. It's okay. So he's like, okay, and I'm like, have a safe trip, because he was from Buffalo. So I was like, have a safe trip back to Buffalo. So I get back to the car and I'm bawling, and I don't know, man. I feel like whenever I tell these kind of stories, I just sound a little bit pathetic, but man, I really thought that I was gonna get to meet like at least Josh or Tyler, and then I didn't, and whatever, right? So we sat in the car, and I literally from where we parked, you could see like through the glass doors people like meeting Josh, and I could see him in his like army camo jacket, and I'm like literally watching people meet him, and I'm like, it's fine, it's whatever. Yeah, that's how that went. Like, and I just kind of kept replaying like that moment of me not getting the meet and greet card, and then like the people saying like, you deserve a card. And I don't know, man, I was just so happy but like so upset, and yeah.